Hi everyone, I'm just going to do a quick flip through of my latest journal. It'll be the first for 2025. You can check the link in the description box below and check out if it's still available on Etsy because I put it up there for sale. This is this was a just really big chunky journal. I know those of you who have seen my journals know that I like to do them, but it's extremely chunky. But you'll see how well it lays out flat. It's packed with ephemera. I also will give a little bag of some additional ephemera that you can switch things out if you like, whoever gets this. It's got roughly 72 pages front to back, a soft spine to make it more flexible. I've used a very, very old book that, if you can tell, I peeled the top layer off. It was falling apart, so I rescued it and just roughed it up a little bit more with, or just highlighted the roughness in it. It is approximately, let me read that, 7 1/4 by 5 3/4. And this here, I just used lots of vintage lace, antique lace. There's a little bit of that too. Antique doll clothing, vintage doll clothing, some new stuff. And this here has got a little bit of a hardness to it. When you open it, you know, it's going to flatten out a little bit, but it does have a puffiness to it, some tulle in here and some pretty flowers. That's the old book. This is a print of this lovely girl. I believe it's Sacred Mementos for that. Metal emblem there, an applique here, and this beautiful fabric ribbon, and it is double stitched. I've got lots of dangly there, bows and dangles. Some handmade. I made these first ones I've made that are miniature like this, these little ballerina slippers. And there's the back. You can get an idea more of the texture of this. And this is some of the very old lace here. This is regular vintage. I do have a stitch down here. And let's see what else. There's the big wide mouth. It is not gonna open completely flat. So, but it looks great on a shelf. So lots of little beading there as well. This opens part way. I just put a little piece here. Something can be placed in there. Lots of very old antique and vintage book pages used here. Here's a little tuck spot that something could be put into. I just blinged out some of these gold clips. And look at how it does open really well. This is just a piece from a very old magazine, Young Ladies Journal. Got a piece of ephemera here. Now the backgrounds in a lot of the pages I have used very, very old papers. This is a part of a very old ledger. And there's a little bit of shimmer here and there. Not a whole lot of glitter either, just maybe a tiny, tiny bit. Piece of an applique here. And the name of this, I named Ballerina Dreams. So it's just, and I've altered this envelope like this. Oop, there you go. And put it in here as well, an antique letter in French. And it's from the 1800s, and I'll let whoever gets this decipher that. Lots of trim. I did lots of sewing in this. A couple of digitals, and the digitals that I used, I will try to make sure I look it up and put it in the description box. It might take a little time for me to do that, but I will do that. Just clipped on this lovely picture of this girl who I just absolutely loved for this. It's just the idea of having, you know, dreams of being a ballerina and other things, of course. I just added this pink muslin fabric, and I just like the feel and texture of it. Little piece of and some embossed things here. Used this two little digitals to make a pocket. Something will be placed in there, or I will put something in the additional bag for that area. Little tuck here. Made this altered paper clip with this little corset here and a ticket. All right, I gotta be quick. And if you could see that little bit of shimmer on the rose petals, there it goes. There it is. A very old receipt, hotel receipt with beautiful handwriting. a French letter there, a little tuck here that could possibly, something can be put in, but you see for how big it is, how nice it lays. This flips up, little areas for little notes and little, you can write on those little areas for that. If I've missed a pocket or whatever, I go through it before I ship it, and I'll just add a little something in there or additional stuff in the bag. And that's a flip up. You can see I also, in this flip up, I put like a little, I layered it with I just put some old ledger paper on it, and I love the feel of it. There's a little tuck right there that a little ticket could go into. I made this little tuck with this metal piece here, another tuck, a little bit of sewing here, added, you know, like lots of layers and gesso and little old receipts and things here. This is a little tuck, and again, I'll put something in the bag with that little applique. Lots of collaging in this, some ribbons, some sewing, a little tiny little bow, and I love that image. And I've added this little piece of these ballerina slippers. I think I went under with that, and that's a pocket here. There we go. A little corset card here, a vintage postcard, a little vintage envelope for Lord & Taylor, and this little vintage card here with the ballerina on it. Again, lots of collaging. This one had it says corsets in there, so right there, corselet. So I added that little trim here, little satin pink. The edges are curled here and there. Lots of gesso. An image I had from a magazine, and this little bit of lace here, a vintage button. And this is, let me do it the right way. It's a little pop out that I created. There are tucks. I made these little tags on each end. There's these tucks that go all the way all the way in down here. So actually you could put something there and there. And this is a tuck. So, you know, I like little secret spots. So a little note or poem would be cute in there. I fussy cut it. Not my favorite thing, if you know my stuff. But I did add these little fairy ballerinas in this little theater piece. I just loved it, and I wanted to use it in this book. Another matching tag there, and the same thing. There's two spots of a tuck there and there. Okay, and a blank page for writing. I added little charms here and there. This is a pocket with a vintage piece of some very old, I think it was an old French document, and I added that page there, which you could also, and the paper is just beautiful, could also put something in this tuck here. Another altered paper clip, which I did so many of those. I have so much fun creating those with the different laces and different things, and it's just something I spent a couple hours doing. And little tucks here, there's actually two pockets, just made a little area here, some embossed paper and trim. And this one has an antique little announcement card in French, a little tuck here. This tucks in this belly band, and you can write in that. Again, one of those girls that I just loved. And here's a pocket and another little digital that I just made a little flip out for writing space, and a tiny little journal, little blank journal for that envelope, glassine envelope, little doily there, a belly band with a piece of very old French ledger, a little flip there that I tucked in there. I thought it went well here, and just, you know, correlated. Oh goodness, I can't speak. Just went with it and made this little tuck, and there's a slight little pink applique piece here on this vintage lace, and I just added these little pearls. It's a pink and white pearl on this little bulb pin. In this pocket I have a very old letter from the 1800s. I believe it's from Belgium. And I put another fairy here. You'll see they're all ballerina fairies. So just to make it, you know, I can't think of the word because I'm on, but you know, I just wanted it to match everything. Here's a little tuck. I've added book page here and some very pretty washi tapes of swans and some ledger page, and just, you know, inside did the old envelope and did some sewing here as well. A little folder, mini folder here that I lined, and I just put some papers back there to be written upon, a little extra space there. Here's a little tuck that is right here behind this little heart, and I made another altered paper clip here, and once you take that off, she flips up and gives a little area there for journaling, another little tuck, little belly band there, a very old receipt, and I just thought the back was really pretty as well. And, you know, I'm going to put that here. And if you can see, the dress has that little bit of shimmer down there. And I put a little fun little pink string there. And this is a flip down, and this is a flip to the side for extra writing. And I really loved this image, and since it was from a magazine, can't be copied, but I just really love it. I just like using those kind of pieces. Little tuck here, there's 3 layers of different laces, but this one has a little area. I put these vintage buttons here, and just loved these. This I made a little book out of, and it really laid flat. I was very happy about that. And just put a clip on there with some more of that really fluffy string, and lovely card here, journaling card. Very nice texture, and it's got a little bling on it, and added this little pink bling heart. This is made a pocket, a little bit of sewing here. Added this little fairy ballerina, and just put little shimmer on the wings of these ballerinas. And I added the word dreaming there with a bow, some vintage lace down here, a very old postcard. I loved the roses on there. Added some vintage trim throughout, either on the bottom or on the sides. Made this little flip, and that has a little piece of old music sheet, dancing song. I thought that was really cute, and went with the theme. Made this little tab here that opens up, and this is old ledger paper in an applique here, just for pretty. That's it. Everything doesn't have to be a tuck or a pocket. I tell myself that. I'm speaking to myself. And just altered this old flinch playing card and added something. This says romance up there, and I love picking out dates out of some of these old you know, the newspaper style magazines, 1800s. This one was from 1891, not copied. It's the original. I did have to back it because it was a little brittle, and just did some hand stitching on each side. And again, you know, my seams, I do, you know, add a little extra structure because I do heavily embellish reinforcement. Some old pieces of lace, some, I don't know, book things, book cloth, paper sometimes, washi sometimes. Some gesso there. Used this card just to make a flip. There's some old pink onion skin that had some typewriter stuff on it, typing on it, and made that little side trim. That's a digital here, and these 2 little fairy ballerinas here. And did I add shimmer? There's a little bit of shimmer on the wings there, and on her wings. I loved that card, and I just backed it with some mixed media paper, which I did a lot of that in this. And so you could either paint on it, or the person who gets it, or write on it. Curled up some edges of this paper clip and added some trim there. Took this old envelope, I believe that's French. I did have some things that had a different language on it, but I'm pretty sure that's French. Just added some book pages, did some collaging, and with the gesso, you could just write on top of that, which I thought just adds a little something when you're journaling. This is a little area that has a tuck in it here. Just made some snippets and put some mixed media paper there. And made a little pocket here, a vintage receipt. Made this little card here, and it's pretty thick and sturdy. And that's also from a magazine. And made a little fabric snippet there. And I'm going too long. And a little key with a little papers there that you could actually put a few words on. A little applique, old book page. Made a pocket and placed this old photo in there. And made this tag. It's got a belly band on it. And added this little fairy ballerina here. Made a pocket. And put this little card in there. And another altered paper clip. And that has a belly band on both sides. I will put that back together. And just here's some extra pages in the back here. Added this little ruffle and altered paper clip with this beautiful journaling card that was purchased. Not going around saying, oh, my stuff's beautiful. No, I'm just saying some of these things that just were beautiful when I purchased it, and I love just adding little touches like that. Have a little pink bauble there as a charm. This altered paper clip and holds this in, and that's a flip up for writing. And I just put this vintage piece of lace here and this little vintage applique embroidered, piece of, I think this was a piece of a placemat or napkin, something like that. And there's the little bauble, and I will put that back together. And here is a little swan with a rose charm and a pocket with a receipt or invoice from 1915. This was some really old paper too on the back, and I just loved how it had the edges were like a teal blue. Now I'm gonna need to move that aside. There's a little, I think this is Amity Bloom, one of her digitals. Added this trim here, made this little tuck spot. There's some mixed media paper back there, and this old telegram that I just paper clipped on. And this is really pretty, the avocado dyed paper. And another sheet with some sheet music. Made this journaling card out of some it's very hard mixed media paper. And that just tucks in there. Some blank pages. And I like this. I liked how this turned out. I just used bits and pieces from other things and just looked like fairy wings to me. So I added that on that paper clip and some trim that I sewed and made a little ruffle out of it. And there's some 2 coordinating pages that it would go great for a picture. Some more blank, another pocket with a vintage, and that's from a letter, a French letter in blue writing, which I thought was really pretty. And there we go. And there's the back pocket, which I've added some ephemera in there, some very old stuff from 1800s. And that's all collaged with a little bit of sewing. And that is the back. So this, you can check availability again in my Etsy shop, and I will put that link in the description box. And Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope you enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. Bye.